Atma Namaste, dear soul crafters. Welcome to my exclusive video podcast, Soul Crafting with Tanushri, Crafting Your Inner Awareness. Hi, I'm Tanushri Nair, your energy transformation and mindset specialist, author of the book Bring Out That Red Lipstick, an energy worker, and an ICF approved life coach. I'm on a mission to enable 100,000 women to discover their innate feminine energy balance through my Inner Shakti blueprint in 90 days. I'm thrilled to bring out this special Soul Sunday series episode of the podcast season 1, the Awakening series. As the old wise saying goes, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. This podcast is for all those people who are in the daily grind of life who have forgotten to take a pause and smell the proverbial roses. For those who need a hand to learn self mastery of their thoughts, emotions, and inner self. I'm learning too and would like to share this journey with all my fellow listeners. Together, we can go miles. The Soul Sunday series is a special curated guest speaker series. We invite inspiring guests who have successfully converted their adversities to opportunities and transformed themselves inside out to share with us their journey. Today, in the next episode of Soul Sunday series, I'm so thrilled and excited to introduce to you Ruchi Mittal, who is already in the studio. So, without wasting any more time, let's get chatting. Hello and a warm welcome, Ruchi Mittal, to our show. I'm so thrilled to have you here on my weekly Soul Sunday series. Ruchi
Radhe
is
Krishna Tanu.
Radhe Krishna. So, Ruchi is a dear friend, an entrepreneur with a soul of a graphic designer and a community builder. She started out work as a freelance graphic designer and in no time saw herself launching her first business in 2007 by the name Idea Perfect Communication. Today, in 2020, Idea Perfect Communication has evolved into a collaborative venture with her buddy Rohini Lodge into Perfect Red, a visual communication and branding firm delivering design solutions for print and web. She launched her business in her early 20s and realized that exposure to information and experience can play an important role when it comes to decision making in business. This led her to launch HEN, her entrepreneurial network, in 2011, a platform to bring Indian women entrepreneurs together to inspire, inform, and support each other to create successful businesses along with balanced lives. As per a research done in 2011, it was reported that HEN India is the first woman entrepreneur networking platform. Today, HEN is a community of 12K plus enthusiastic women entrepreneurs all across India. So, Ruchi, we are waiting to hear about you, about your journey into entrepreneurship and building this humongous networking community and your interests. Over, the mic is over to you.
Thank you, Tanu. Thank you for inviting me and thank you for giving me an opportunity to share my story. You know, let me get started. So my journey started right after my school plus two, when I came to my parents and I told them I want to study psychology. So for the viewers and for you, I hail from Kolkata, and apparently Kolkata did not have any psycho honors, like a good institute then, and I really wanted to come to Bangalore to Christ for that. I come and I wasn't allowed for it. I was told that आप नहीं जा सकते हो, and that's where the journey started. I did not want to graduate then. I said if I'm not studying psychology, then I'm not graduating. And yes, I'm not a graduate because I took a stand then only that I don't want to study just for a piece of paper. But the question was, what do I do? I didn't know what to do. I actually landed up in an arena institute with a friend and I found the environment very nice. And because I like the environment, I just asked them that whatever you are teaching me, what is it that I do from that knowledge? Uh, in early 2000s, there was something called 123 Greetings. Do you remember?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
123greetings.com,
Yes, yes.
Archie's, Hallmark.
Archie's,
We had like
Hallmark,
a,
yeah.
right? There was like a
Mountain.
big culture of giving cards to people for birthdays and various days, right?
Right.
So they did tell me कि, this is what you can do. आप graphics पढ़ो and आप cards design करो, आप 123 greetings में sell करो. And I was like, wow, what a life. You sit in your room and you do what you want to do. Can't get better.
Right.
And that was an introduction to the world of graphic. At that point, people did not know what graphic design is. Today it is a language in itself. Every person needs to know. So that was the beginning of graphic design. In 2 to 3 months, I won first competition to design a logo for first restaurant bar in Eastern India. It was called Cloud9 then. And at that point, it gave me some hard cash in my hand. Small as if 2,000, 3,000 rupees. But at that time, it was big, one. And two, it was my first earning. And once you have your first earning, you're like, अभी तो आप किसी से पैसे नहीं ले सकते हो. So I was like, okay, now I have to start looking for projects. So I started looking for projects to do my assignments. And that is how the journey of a freelancer started. Between all of this, one thing that kept happening was I knew that what I'm learning there, I need to polish my craft. And so I joined a design institute called Wigan and Lee to study design. And that is where I met my today's partner, Rohini Lodge. We studied design together. We understand our design principles are same. And however, at that point in time, I was studying design, but I actually left my design study also in between. Reason being, अरीना में मैंने 1.5 साल किया था. फिर जब विगन में आई, वहाँ पे भी when I was learning, I didn't want to repeat my learning. I wanted to learn something new. The reason I'm bringing this is learning, and what I'm learning has been my focus since very beginning. And I started using social media then. So I come from the world of Orkut.com. Do you remember Orkut.com,
Of
Sanya?
course. Yeah, the
Were
first.
you there in
Yeah,
Orkut?
I was in Orkut. I
So,
mean,
so
Facebook came
when
quite a bit later in life,
yeah,
but Orkut
yeah,
was the introduction to world community the first
of
time.
course, of course. At that time when Orkut was used to connect with friends and put up your pictures, etc., I would put up my designs there. So I got my first customer from Orkut. I got my first business partner for Idea Perfect from Orkut. I got my, other business connections from Orkut, like, printing and colleagues and stuff like that. So that is how the journey started. And actually, it's only later I learned that that is called social media marketing. I am a freelancer. I turned into an entrepreneur, things like that. However, Idea Perfect started early 2000s, 2007. Post that, of course, I did a lot of mistakes in my business in Idea Perfect. I started out early and I started hiring my friends. I was juggling to understand how do you manage people, one, how do you put design briefs that generate exact result, how do you follow up with clients. And follow up happens in 2 3 ways. One, it happens when you are approaching a new client. Second, it happens when you want delivery done. And third, when you want payments done. And I think many entrepreneurs, specifically women, we feel icky about asking for money for some reasons. And I did face those situations with in Idea Perfect in our initial 2 years. I used to find it difficult asking people, sir, when are you clearing our dues? Or, following up, or getting the team to tell them, are they productive, not productive? Are the sheets maintained? Are you doing your accounts regularly? multiple such things. Also I felt realized one thing, that you start with all good things, like when we started that my partner was a web expert. I come from design industry. We'll put some team together, we'll go out, we'll bring projects, and voila, everything will be fine, everything will happen. But it just doesn't happen like that. God always has plan B for you, and how you live through that plan is actually life. So these were things that kept me, like, putting things. And I was actually working on a timeline of 8 a.m. to 4 a.m. I would also support our family business, which is about designer suits and saris in Calcutta.
Hmm.
So this was life in Calcutta before 2009. 8 a.m. to 4 a.m. You kind of in and out of your design store. You're managing your branding company, and you're juggling with managing clients. You have to maintain your cash flow, but you have no clue. And on top of that, you cannot talk about it to everybody. And your team or your partner sometimes are there, sometimes are not there. And it's not that they're bad people, it's just situation, how you're living through and how things are getting managed. With all of this, there came a time when I got burnt out, and I realized that I have no friends. And I came to my parents and I told them, I need somebody to share coffee with. So get me married, because that's the only way I can get somebody now. There is no other way.
That's a unique
And that's how
proposition.
marriage. Yeah, but I actually needed somebody to hang around, talk to me, and just share coffee with me to start with. However, that's how marriage happened to me, and that's how I shifted from Calcutta to Bangalore in 2009. And it is only after I shifted to Bangalore I learned one more thing: difference between coming from a business family vis-a-vis when you're in a family where everybody's into jobs. I didn't know that there can be such difference, and that can affect your business or your thought process. So for example, in Calcutta, our life was such, because we had a store, we have people in and out. And in general, I was in a business circle, so we would meet new people every day, literally every day, between 6:30 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. We used to sit down with friends, and people would bring their friends, and that was networking, and we didn't know that was networking. But I was doing that literally every day there. And when I came to Bangalore, in first 2 months, I was thinking, where do I meet somebody new? Who will buy my services? Who will know that I am doing a business? How do I tell people I'm doing something? Because over here, my family, everybody was into jobs, and I didn't know anybody beyond that, and I didn't know how to use that circle. This is when again Google Maya came to support. Because what I landed up doing was I started Googling, where do you meet people for business in Bangalore? And it generated a hell lot of networking group lists, like TIE, BNI, OCC, meetups. Have you heard of meetups?
Meetups was very popular at one
Yeah,
point.
and they had various other groups underneath, right? So you
Right.
can meet up for business, for game, for food,
For
for
hobbies.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I started circling around these groups. I would, weekends take my husband and go to these groups to understand what's happening in the city, what are people like, and what is this? Is there any way that I can generate business from any of this? And I would come back and make notes. Which organization is delivering what at what cost, and what is it that I want to learn? And at that point, I knew one thing very clearly: I do not want to make same mistakes. I want to make mistakes, but I do not want to make same mistakes, which means my management skills need to better. I need to overcome some of my fears, things like that. And so I joined TIE at that point in time. I joined TIE because TIE was offering lots of workshops and networking, and that is exactly what I wanted, learn and meet. 1 year into Thai, I think 1 year or 8 months, there was this ad in the newspaper that says that spoke about ISB, Goldman Sachs 10K program. Have you heard of 10K
Yes,
program?
yes, yes.
So it's a Goldman Sachs initiative to educate 10,000 women entrepreneurs across India. And I feel privileged and proud to say I happen to be one in the 10,000, because at that time that was so important. And I think in any point in time in our business, all of us will know at any time how much ever our turnover is, we always seek for that one person or experience bigger than ours to just learn from their experience.
Agree.
So, so here is that spot where, a girl who's not a graduate, who just from school got into professional course, and despite all her social pressure where people didn't want her to do, have been living through that journey and now is sitting in front of ISB professors. Because other thing that I learned was those professors have a body language, they have a way of conducting themselves, and that also is a big learning for people by large. How you conduct yourself, how you basket information, how you talk also helps you become better. Of course the information is a bonus there, is how I feel. But it is then that I felt that there is just so much knowledge that came to me that I wanted to share with more women like me. I realized and felt that there could be so many people who would be doing businesses in various situations and would not have exposure to information. So I thought, how about I put up a system where this becomes easy? And so Hen came into picture. uh, 3rd January, I got my certificate from Goldman Sachs ISB program, and 5th January, we went live with Hen.
So your project in
So,
ISB Goldman was for Hen India?
no, the project was still Idea Perfect, which now is Perfect Red. But while I was doing that, something in me kept telling me that I'm learning so much, I want to share. It is just that feeling that I want to share. I kept thinking, how do I share? And then if I have to share, then how does it become like an ongoing process? And it does not limit to say 100, 200, 500 people. It reaches out to more people. So the goal, yeah, so Hen is just a solution of sharing information basically.
I guess that's your extension more than a solution. It's an extension of you, because early on in your business, you have learned a lot of things. Early on in your business, you went through a lot of things, and having that thought to share it with others itself, changes you, your perspective, you as a person, you as an individual. And I think
Yeah.
it's a, I'm so glad you started, because in 2011 I think I suffered the same challenges, and I was undergoing the same challenges. As a solo entrepreneur, your networking platform Hen India was a boon for me. I
Thank you.
didn't know about business. I didn't, though my father is a businessman. He had his own business back in Bombay. But the funny thing was, I never went there. I didn't do those business activities with him. Though I have been born and brought up in the business house, it was only when I started after a corporate journey, when I entered into the business side, I realized that I don't know whom to sell my products to. In the initial few months, Facebook came to rescue. But after that, what? And to learn business is to get into it. It's almost like, jump into the water, swim by yourself. You might struggle for a few hours, few days, but eventually you'd learn to flap your hands.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
Hen India, I didn't know that time it was the first, but I think when I did a Google search, I found Hen India, and I just landed up on into one of your networking sessions,
Networking meet.
and I think I've never been out of that since 2011. It has been a constant for me to be into networking. So in fact, I was very shy of networking, and the kind of environment that Hen India had, it brought me out of my shyness. It brought me into understanding that, even women don't sit and gossip. Mostly women, when they meet, are known to gossip, chit chat, have their kitty parties and all these things. But the environment in Hen India, for my personal experience, has been so enriching. It has been highly collaborative. Women sitting there talking about business, about accounts, about their numbers, and how they can do better. And the best part was that as women, and I keep saying this in my sessions too, that this is an age of collaboration and not competition.
Yeah.
Generally people say, women pull other women down, but I didn't see that happening in Hen India. In fact, they uplifted each other. And even today I have connects that I made, and they're like so precious to me. It has always been a great journey to come for Hen India networking sessions, to be into their education knowledge sessions. And I mean, what best could you have done? I think this is your biggest success to start Hen India, in fact, Ruchi.
Thank you, Tanu. It's only, stories like yours actually give me some peace. And also, Hen is made by people like you, right? I mean, it is, so it's our all energy that makes Hen. So yeah, thank you for making Hen so special and nice.
So,
Yeah.
Ruchi, I'd like to know, and this is for the benefit of our viewers and listeners, that can you elaborate a little bit on what are the activities of your networking community?
Sure. So like Tanu said, we work on three verticals: inspire, inform, and support. When we say inspire, we do sessions to share stories of women entrepreneurs, because we learn from others, and sometimes just listening to somebody else how they manage something in their life helps us. So we before COVID, we would do seminars which would be offline. But now we've started a YouTube channel. We are featuring women entrepreneurs for with various different subjects. So that's Inspire for us. Inform is where we do business workshops. Like last month, we did a workshop on Instagram marketing, a 3-day workshop for people to understand how to use Instagram for their business. Earlier sessions have been around chatbot marketing, social media marketing, how to apply for GST, how to look into your day to day accounts. So basically, we focus on workshops that are like completely about business. And support is where we partner with other organizations like Cherry Blair Foundation, Draper University, and we bring in their programs to our members. Networking is also a space between Inspire and support for us. We hold networking meets every month where people come together, know each other, learn something from each other. We've started something very interesting in last 2 months, which is also under support. We started something called hashtag Hen for Hen. It's a campaign, a shout out campaign to support fellow hen members on Instagram. The whole idea is it's the world of social media marketing, and we have our women entrepreneurs who actually, like you said, it's about collaboration. So everybody's come together despite of similar services or complementary services. We talk about each other, we share each other's services, products, and help them increase their page reach. So yeah, so in a way, if you see Hen is your solution, if you're a women entrepreneur, you're looking out to scale up, and to scale up, you want networking, you want information, you want inspiration, you want marketing, Hen is your place to be.
That's a whole big package bundled
Yeah,
together. And it
yeah,
makes sense, especially for women entrepreneurs, to have this kind of a support. And I am also a part of your Hen for Hen campaign, the
Yeah.
Vocal for Locals campaign that you're running. And I've really found a lot of value connecting to the peer business group in understanding what are their challenges, how are they overcoming, because it's only through dialogue and internal sharing that we really know what are our pain points, what are the our small successes are also celebrated in the same way,
Yeah.
everybody cheers for your support, for your success, and they're there to support all the way. And I think that is very much needed in today's business scenario, the kind of situation that we all are facing through. We always need a sounding board, and I think that group makes that kind of a networking group makes all the difference.
Yeah. Thank you. Of course.
So Ruchi, does Hen India have any eligibility criteria to enter for women entrepreneurs?
Yeah. So if you are a women entrepreneur, you can be part of hen. What I mean by that is, if you're a woman running business or have started a business, if you made one sale also, you're part of hen. But we do get uh, 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 requests from a lot of people who say we want to start, and we don't allow them into the group. Genuinely, the reason is, you need different energy for people who want to start vis-a-vis people who have started. And we it's not that we differentiate between people. It's just that we understand that we do not have so much energy, like we will not be able to justify. The reason I'm bringing this is, Tanu, because things need to be looked into the right light, and everybody needs the right support, and that should be created. So yes, if you are a woman running business, you've started a business, you've done only one sale, also you can be part of hen. If you are running business with multiple lakh or crore of turnover, you can still be part of hen.
Awesome.
So that's the only criteria actually.
Yeah, I mean, having people club together with similar energy uh, would actually elevate each other faster.
Yeah, yeah. You are an energy expert, so you'll be the best person to understand or probably explain this if possible. That there is no difference between these two categories: people who want to start versus people who have started. Just that the questions are different and the answers
Right,
for each is to be different.
right. So, Ruchi, we do let us know about your business offerings also. I understand that 2020 has been an eventful year for you too, where you collaborated with your buddy Rohini, and you both have brought together your skills and your talents into Perfect Red. So,
Yeah.
do let us know what Perfect Red does.
So let me also tell you how this whole thing happened in a summary. I was running Idea Perfect and Rohini was running Studio Red. We were both delivering we both are expert in branding, and we both were delivering design solutions for marketing collaterals and branding requirements. And we realized that individually we are playing as a small fish. And like you said, it's not about competition, it's about collaboration. You want to become a bigger fish in the ocean, and that's exactly what Rohini and I decided to do. And luckily we were like bang on, because we could sail through COVID because of our coming together. So what we've done is, Studio Red and Idea Perfect today is called as Perfect Red. And guys, because we are like in transition, our website is not ready. We will definitely share the link with Tanu at the earliest. What we do is we support clients with design solutions for marketing and branding collaterals. How do we split it? When we say print, we start right from logo design, corporate identity, packaging, brochures, leaflets, anything that you say is the result of that solution. In websites, e-com, portfolio based, social media marketing, email marketing, all of that is what we deliver. We cater or we target to manufacturing houses, um, you know, uh, or retail units, where hospitals, education units, agro company, fintech company, these are all companies we've delivered solution to for 360-degree branding and marketing requirements. Yeah. So that's what we do.
Awesome. And all the best for Perfect Red. I know it will
Thank
be
you.
an amazing journey, especially having an co-founder, a partner who's also a buddy helps a lot.
Yeah, of course it does. Thank you so much.
So, Ruchi, I'd like to ask, we all have our successes and setbacks when we are building our business. And this is for the benefit of, entrepreneurs who are in the same journey. Would you like to share one prominent episode of your success and one of your setback that actually changed the course for you?
Okay. If I'm thinking of success, Tanu, you know, um, bolte na beauty lies in the eye of beholder. So I don't know. I I I am always in a question. Am I really successful? But one thing that gives me peaceful sleep is that I've managed to continue. Consistency is very important in anything. And for the goal that I'm living for, I've managed to be consistent so far. When I say consistent, what I'm trying to put here is, when I started the business, I was quite young. From there, going through my failures, then coming and addressing to that and saying, okay, I need to learn from it, then getting married, then moving into a new city, managing, understanding the city, understanding the new household, understanding what is running business there. Then in between, I also shifted to Denmark for 6 months. I had a reason. I had a reason to not work, but I actually was working on 3 time zones from Denmark. At that time, I had a business partner who was from US, so I would actually work IST, European, and American time zones. And from there, coming back and then remodeling the business, uh, again seeing a setback, and again remodeling, and then launching Hen, and then running Hen in various structure. So since 2007 to 2020, cross fingers, Tutu, consistency has brought me where I am, and that is success for me. Uh, so that is one. And failure or setback. Uh, I have already mentioned some setbacks, right? Like how I realized that I can't generate business, so I started looking for networking, or how I realized I'm not able to ask for money, so I learned how to ask for money, things like that. But one thing that brings me close to my own way of functioning and becoming a leader is, when I realize that the speed that I am working at, is that speed slow or is that speed fast? And again, understand that from the world perspective, because I am in that world, in a way, we are competing with each other. If I don't perform, somebody else will override me and move ahead. So to come to the acceptance that, is my speed okay or not okay, and I think my speed is not okay, and to work on that is changing the course of work. Because when you understand your speed is not okay, that means you have to work on your driving skills. And when you work on your driving skills, you're basically working on a core skill, and that is changing the way you work.
Yeah.
So that is
That's very interesting,
yeah.
Ruchi, because as women, I think we have a lot of breaks in our life.
Yeah.
Once we start career, I think till we are learning or we are in the education mode, we are still good. I think the moment we step out, start working, get married, have kids, and move cities, there are a lot of such challenges that women today, most of the career women today, are facing. And sometimes it becomes frustrating. But maintaining that consistency, that continuity itself is a huge success, I feel, because in the face of changing situations, how you hold yourself together matters the most. And
Yeah.
yes, as you mentioned also in the setbacks, I think speed is relative or subjective to the person
Correct.
who is going through it. And they all, and as into as being into entrepreneur, being an entrepreneur myself, I realized that I would like to have a certain level of expectation from myself and
Hmm.
drive myself towards it. But there are small learnings on the way that actually enrich us and our process and make us a totally different person. The output is totally different at the end of the journey. That each
Yeah.
challenge, when we come out of it, we are a totally different person. And
Yeah.
uh, uh, the best part that you spoke about was that vulnerability that you showed, that I accept that, I had some failures, I had some setbacks, but how did you embrace it and make it work around for you?
Yeah.
It's a biggest learning. It's thanks for sharing this, Ruchi. It's really a inspiring story for us too, because learning and listening, like you said, the Inspire platform that Hen India provides, this is what is important today. We do need inspiration from people who are like you and me.
Yeah.
I know I can
Yeah.
look up at Sheryl Sandberg. I can look up at Michelle Obama. I can look at all these world leaders. They had their own journey. They had their own challenges. But sometimes to take hold or take charge of oneself, we also need to look at people like you and me who are around us.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, Tanu, when for example, because you mentioned Michelle Obama, right? I feel, have you read Michelle Obama's book?
The beginning, I'm in the process.
Yeah. Okay. So, which part of the book are you in?
I'm
You have
I've
you like just
I
started?
no, I have not started. I bought the book and I've yet to start off
Acha.
it, the beginning part.
Okay. Okay. So I kind of went through that book, and because you spoke about Michelle Obama, what draws people to somebody like her is because she is that big personality. Of course, it's not easy to reach the level she is, requires X amount of work. But how she and her family has actually been open about every small little detail, and to say that yes, they did fall. It's not like, like there is this whole joke about your Facebook or your profile pictures across social media. Like one may look, like absolutely not well dressed in real life, but superly dressed, like have larger than life profile picture. You don't want that actually,
Right.
because end of the day we all have similar problems, be it Michelle Obama or be it us. I think, I don't know how you think, the biggest question in a day is what are the three meals that you have to cook in the day. More than
Very
cooking,
true.
answering what to cook is a pain.
Right.
And that is the conversation. Like we all need to feel that everybody is falling, it's okay to fall, doesn't matter,
Right.
and get up. So yeah, I agree that we need to talk, and we need to talk with each
Right.
other
And we should
about real
um,
stuff.
extend ourselves and ask for help. Uh,
Of course.
I mean, not to feel, and that's why the vulnerability part comes, to accept and to ask for help or support is the biggest thing that even I learned through my entrepreneurial years. And
Yeah.
I mean, more power to us, I feel. We have
Yeah.
more power to more women entrepreneurs, leaders, uh, to come out and work in this situation. Um,
Yeah.
it needs it needs a lot of guts, definitely.
Yeah, and this is a problem not with just women. This is by large a human problem.
Right.
To accept oneself, to fall, to get up, and to understand that everybody around you is falling and is like you. Nobody's like
That
really.
acceptance, I think, is started coming in right in this recent years, when startups have come. There was this huge uh, entry of startups, and startups are growing and people were joining startups, and suddenly there was also a breakdown in the startup system where startups started collapsing. I think that's where people started embracing listening to setbacks and understanding that it was part and parcel of our life and not like a failure through which you cannot just ever stand up on your own 2 feet.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yes.
to keep you going, Ruchi, what is your typical morning? How do you start your day in the morning and how do you wind up in the night?
Okay, so my morning routines are very bad. Nobody should follow actually. I am not somebody. Uh, so it actually changes. Like there has been times when I was getting up at 4 to finish some backlog work and then run through the day. But on an average, I'm getting up around 7:30. Basis on how busy the day is, I would quickly take a shower, get to breakfast, and get to work. My exercise time happens during the day, like I'm walking and talking. Earlier I was pre-COVID, I used to work out. So post-COVID life has been little miserable. I don't know about others, it seems never ending work. Whenever you sit, you open your laptop and you can work, how much ever you structure. So yeah, mornings. But one thing that I managed to do is get up at 7:30, and the first thing I do is take a shower. That is consistent. I do nothing. I just take a shower and then I get to things. If I can, then I work out and take a shower. So yeah, that is morning for me. In terms of work, I start by writing down what I have to finish, and I do make a note of top 2 or 3 things that I have to finish. Uh, which typically I start at 9, and yeah, that's morning. Evening, come what may, I spend 1 hour with myself every night. That is actually the main thing that keeps me going. What do I do in that 1 hour? I'm either browsing through YouTube, so I like to travel, so I travel the world at night. I like to learn about what's new, so I do that. And I'm also real, so I do like masala. So I don't binge watch on TV episodes or even Netflixes now, but I go through all these creator content and all the vlogs people upload these days. That's keeping me going. So I do that 1 hour of my time, be it any time. Like if I'm coming to bed at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., I will do that 1 hour regime and then go to sleep. So
Great.
yes.
Also, Ruchi, please share your favorite quote that inspires you.
Believe it to achieve it. It is just so important. It's law of attraction, right? You believe in something and only then you can achieve it. So that keeps me going.
Right. That's inspiring.
What is yours, Tanu?
So mine is uh, loving yourself is not vanity, it is sanity.
Self-care is the most important thing.
Yeah, because I realized this during the last few years of being in a job, being through entrepreneurship, being through a sabbatical, being through two, deliveries, maternity deliveries, and I realized that somewhere, somehow, you lose track and lose connect of yourself. And I lost myself a lot in the pursuit of holding on to the home, kids, working in my business or working in my job. I did lose a lot of sanity there. But I think what I realized at the end of the day, and I think that's what prompted me to write the book also, that I have to first take the oxygen for myself before putting that oxygen mask to anybody around me. And I think, yeah, small things like, eating your breakfast on time, eating your lunch on time, dinner on time, even that makes you feel that you are there for yourself first. Because usually I would do that, I would finish my work, cook for everyone and would be the last to eat. Not that it was told to me like that, but it was, subconsciously that once everything is over, then I'll be more relieved to sit and eat for myself. But I realized that, I used to go low on energy and I was not taking care of myself. So I think when I thought this was something that I thought was a quote, but when I went on Google, I realized that somebody else has been already written this. So this was written by Katharina Meyer. This is a quote by her, that taking care of yourself is self-love is not vanity, it is sanity.
I agree. Self-love is so important. Yes.
So Ruchi, coming back to you, any tip or a small networking technique you want to share with our followers who are into entrepreneurship?
Very simple. Listen. So first, when we say a hi to somebody, genuinely we should say a hi because we want to talk to that person. And while talking or starting the conversation, idea should not be talking about oneself. It should be listening about others. This is one mistake I feel most of us do. So for example, I'm talking to you, Tanu. My interest should be in genuinely to know you and understand you, not to, hi Tanu, how are you? So Tanu, I do this. That should not be the focus. Networking is not transactional. The day we stop doing transactional relationship building during networking, bingo, we'll get it. So yes, that's the tip. Be genuinely interested in the person you are talking to while networking.
That's an awesome tip, Ruchi. I think, yes, deep listening or being there when you're networking with someone makes all the difference in how the relationship grows after that.
Yes.
And I think networking is not about marketing or introducing about your products. It's more about understanding others or building those relationships.
Yeah. It's like two kids talking to each other in a school. It's just that genuine conversation.
Yeah. Heartfelt conversations.
Yeah. Yes.
So, Ruchi, would you like to share with our viewers and listeners a parting message, something that you have experienced and you would like to share it with all our viewers and listeners?
Tanu, see, so far, whatever I've shared with you, if you really focus or listen, what's happening is, just make the most of the situation. Today with COVID, the world has changed. The good news is nobody knows the rules to live in this world. Now nobody can say हमें पता है कैसे होएगा, भैया किसी को नहीं पता अभी कैसे होएगा. So that's the bingo. But to live through this and to create our own world and our own dreams come to life, one thing that will work is continuity, collaboration, self-awareness. And who better than you, Tanu, again, because you speak about energy, you talk about self-care. You are the one, I think, and I've read your book that's just behind there, Bring Out That Red Lipstick. And you also have mentioned that how coming in terms with your own thoughts and first defining what you need has been your stepping stone to creating what you've created for yourself. So that's what I want to bring to everybody's attention. Spend time to know yourself with yourself, and first be okay to tell yourself what you need, irrespective, like, don't judge of what you are writing or what others are thinking. How real is that? Just accept that this is what you as a person wants or a soul wants. Once you accept and you write, you will see world coming together to put that together. What do you say, Tanu?
Awesome,
Isn't
awesome.
it?
I'd really say and really agree to it. It is a blank slate again, and we have
Yeah.
to rewrite our stories in a way that it inspires, it supports, you can share your story. I think this is a great platform currently. There is opportunity in every adversity, they say, and I strongly
Yeah.
believe in this, that even though the COVID situation has hit the whole world, this is the time to rewrite our stories again.
Of course, and there's no limitation. In fact, like you said, it's a plain, blank slate. We can scribble what we want to scribble. We should just start scribbling.
Right.
So yeah, of course. So that's what I would wish for all the viewers. All the best. May you live all your dreams. And Tanu, thank you for having me here, and thank you for letting me share, because everybody wants to share their stories. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. I think stories has to come out. It's not about just simple knowledge, or what comes out of experience is much more deeper than plain theoretical knowledge that we read, or we do hundreds of courses. But what we learn from each other's experiences, stories, are much more valuable and can help us set our course in our life.
Yeah.
So, Ruchi, would you like to share your coordinates online on social media? How can we get in touch with you?
Sure. So, if you're a women entrepreneur, you want to connect with me for business networking or information, etc., please check us out on henindia.com. And if you would want to look into our portfolio and see what kind of branding or design solutions we've delivered so far, please check us out on ideaperfect.com. A Perfect Red website will be up soon, and we'll share the details with Tanu. But so far, ideaperfect.com. So yes,
Great.
thank you, Tanu.
Thank you so much, Ruchi, for taking out time from your busy schedule. And I understand that you are in a chaotic situation of transitioning from one business to another. Yet you took time from your busy schedule and joined us for the show. We wish you, your business, Perfect Red, and your community Hen India the very best for your future, and wish you higher successes.
Thank you, Tanu. Thank you for having me, and all the best to you too with your new venture, and of course your book. And I know that you've written one more book. I haven't.
Yeah, I was co-author in one of the books, Being Employable.
Yes. So congratulations and all the best.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ruchi.
Thank you.
So, dear listeners and viewers, the links to Ruchi Mittal's online business presence is in the description below. With this, we come to an end of today's Soul Sunday episode. You can head over to my website www.tanushrinair.com to subscribe to my newsletters, listen to this podcast episodes, or connect with me on my Facebook page Tanushri Nair. On Instagram, I am there as Soulful Living with Tanushri. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel, also goes by the name Tanushri Nair, and please subscribe to come to know about the new episodes by pressing the bell icon. Thank you for joining me on today's episode, and until we meet again, stay safe, stay inspired. You are all loved. Peace, love, and light. Your host Tanushri, signing off.